You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan, but you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it, but I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning. Even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here? That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of RENA's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Everett 35 might know the answer, but... You know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... Well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it. I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Wracks 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in RENA and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, But we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay, but you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen, okay. I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to RENA, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and RENA.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach RENA's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding RENA, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, Your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the fall lights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to RENA.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, RENA was probably just as vibrant as Dana is, but after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is RENA. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the RENA's Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the RENA's Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether RENA is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and RENA, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
You're mine! Far enough! Rising Warper!
I shall ensure you survive. Tempest! The Tempest engulfs you!
Rising Warper!
Not on my watch!
Finish it!
Xeon!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
Raging Lunar Storm!
You picked the wrong fight!
On the wind!
Inferno Punch! I'm on a roll!
Tempest engulfs
Demon
you!
Fang!
Xeon!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Into the shadows!
The Tempest engulfs you! Can't get out of this!
Trigger Dragon! Demon Fang!
This one's mine!
Destruction
Do it!
Slash!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Lunar corruption!
Rising Warper!
Tempest engulfs you!
Do it!
Dance on the wind!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? He probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of RENA. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In Tragedy's Aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
I won't forgive you!
Rising Wyvern! You're mine!
Bestow that mystic mercy.
Rising Wyvern! It's on!
Very good. Your reflexes will not serve you when tonight's meal is on you. You got it.
First strike! Come on! Here I come! The tempest engulfs you!
Raging Luna Storm. Prepare to be seized on fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Let's talk
turn the tables on her.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
The earth throbs with pain.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Crescent Blast. No further.
Not on my watch!
Dragon Form!
Do it!
Down!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
This could be useful.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Super Swallow Dance on the wind! Talon Hurricane! Quiver Flagging!
It would appear I attract too much attention.
I never
We
miss.
got flyers!
I've got this. Let us march this in.
All yours! Start!
Radiant,
Dance on
here.
the wind! Be still!
Mega Red, do it.
Now I'm in the view!
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Dragon Tail, stop time.
Inferno Punch! Rising Falcon!
Flash.
More Sukals?
Keep calm and take them down.
Can't get out of this! Double Demon Fang!
Denied.
Demon Fang!
Rolling
Demon
down.
Fang! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Reinforcements?
Rising Wyvern! Dragon Shatter!
Healing
Engulf you! Hurricane Thrust! Dance on the wind!
This one's
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
do it. Lock. Get toasty.
Burn Strike!
Right. Next one.
Already on!
Do it. Alpha. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! The Tempest engulfs you! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! More?
Hear me. Flame of Fury.
Burning Shot! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
Screen
You're
Blade.
on!
Arc Field.
Dragon Form!
Do it. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble! Rising Wyvern! Rising
Mega Ray.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, then if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious.
Gotta break through!
Nothing gets by me!
Rising Wyvern!
Swallow
Death on the wind!
This one's mine!
I shall ensure you survive this! Rising Falcon!
Glacial Spear! Here's
Death
evil!
can't get out of this! Plasma Shock!
Freeze! Lock it to get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Death on the wind!
Already on.
Burn in hell!
Freeze Laser!
Dragon Shout! Plasma Trinity!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
None shall escape
Death on the
us!
wind!
Power up!
Dragon
Don't
Blow!
mind if I do!
Sonic
In
Crush!
the sky it's love!
Sword Rain
Freezing
Alpha!
storm!
Trinity!
Bizarre! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Sighted!
Rising
One
Wyvern!
more!
Very
You
good!
will
Require a hand. The Tempest engulfs you! Finish it! Eagle Fly! Outfit! In an instant! Impact Blow!
Seems about right to me.
An opponent like this should be easy. Death on the wind! Here I come! Damn it!
Ice Tornado!
The Tempest engulfs you! Dazzle!
That'll bring you down! These ones can run rings around us!
Can't get out of this! The Tempest engulfs you!
Alvin! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Prepare to be seized. Actually, perhaps now is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Deny! I'll finish you here and now!
Beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself.
Oh, like hell?
Crescent Sun prepares to be seized! Tempest engulfs you! Blow away! I'll smash you!
This could be useful.
Discourteous, aren't you?
My natural defenses are fading. I'm a sitting duck!
Retreat from this battle.
Retreat? I would never!
Win! Death on the wind!
Here and now! Here!
Mirage! The Tempest engulfs you! Shockwave Blast!
Hold on! Vanish with a trace!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Here I come! Soaring Light Spear! Dragon Swarm!
Ready to go!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Freeze Laser!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'm on it!
Orochi Fury!
Another incantation ruined.
I'm like bait to them.
Double Demon Fang! Very
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complete idea.
Nope, that'd be
An instant! What an
Eternal
infernal
Devastation!
on the wind.
Dragon Alpha!
Raging Luna Storm!
Orochi Fury! Stop!
Raging Luna Storm!
You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Burn!
A freezing storm!
You're mine! Rising Wyvern!
The earth through all
Coming
pain.
Rising
Healing
Storm!
circle!
Okay, here I go!
Benediction right.
Heal! Sonic Thrust!
Infernal punch!
Rending Splash!
Blow away!
I'll heal you all!
Pierce! The Tempest engulfs you!
Healing circle!
Raging Loop! No further!
What a relief!
Sonic Thrust!
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
Win!
By the power of water!
Swallow dance!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. why'd you heal me?
There you are!
Raging Luna Storm!
I think I'll
This has
pass
got
on
your
the
name on
handshake.
him! You're mine! Nothing, Knuckles!
I'm going to
Roll now! Death to the wind! Whirlwind
Raging Luna Storm!
Mega Ray!
Death to the wind! Away!
Gemini Aqua!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Double demon What's this?
That'll bring you down.
In a bind? Demon I'll smash you!
Not in your dreams. Searing Tempest.
Ignite!
And that's my will.
Do it! Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or
Coming through! Come one, come all!
Demon Reload!
The Tempest engulfs you!
Lunar Corruption! These things really get on my nerves.
Raging Luna Storm!
Gemini Aqua!
Blind freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Nothing of it! On a roll now! Damn it! Get back! Stand back! I'll trip it up!
First aid!
I don't know what I do without
No further!
Perhaps now isn't the time.
excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
That's not to give me any
Do it! Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
We won that by a mile.
Should be easy. Now you see what I can do. Not today. Swallow dance. Far enough.
Glacial Spear.
It's
Here's
time.
evil.
Tempest engulfs you.
Freeze Lancer. Do it.
Shield.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Luna Rondo. Raging Luna
Storm.
Storm. Death Blossom. Dragon Form.
Flame of Fury. Burning Strike. Glacial
Can you
Spear.
take it?
Here's evil.
Let's go.
Freeze Lancer. This one's mine.
Do it. Shield.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. Form a line. Plenty for you all. Can't get out of this. The flaming.
Looks like it could be worth something. Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
And thus our strength yet grows.
Hold on to your art. Here I come.
You picked the wrong fight! Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Prepare to be sealed!
Gemini Aqua! Annihilation!
Shouldn't have messed with me! In a bind?
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! It's on!
Healing Circle!
Ignite! Crescent Flash!
Bolero! Back into the fray!
I'm right behind you! Crescent Flash!
Savage Roto!
I'll face you!
Do it! Alpha!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I've been doing really great lately.
Coming through!
Let me show you what my
Death on the wind! Rising Woman! Bestow thy mystic one, come on!
It's in the sky!
Allow me to say, healing art? It is.
On the ground!
I can't ignore your pain.
Armor
I'll
won't
try to
save
be
you!
more careful.
I've got fires!
I've got this! Let him marksman handle it!
Now all yours!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go! Nothing gets
Too
by
fast!
me!
Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Eat this! Do it!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact block! Plasma shock!
Cyan instant!
Dance on the wind! No further! Mirage! Burn!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Finish it! Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Dragon Corruption!
Crescent Flash!
Gemini Aqua! Annihilation!
Demon Fang!
Radiant
Get in
Fire!
the way! Xeon!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
That's quite the technique.
You need me? I'm there.
I won't forgive you!
Take this!
Here's a healing art!
Engulfs you!
First aid!
Talon Storm!
Searing Flame! Shield head! What's that even there?
In a bind?
Quiver Dragon!
Watch this!
That'll bring you down!
Demon Fang!
Armor won't save you!
Burn in hell!
Radiant Pierce!
I'll tear you apart!
Not in your dreams! Searing Flame!
Cracking
Reload!
Blade!
Here's a healing art!
Engulfs you!
First aid!
Raging Luna Storm! Incredible!
Hey, you okay?
I can still do this! Can't get out of
use
this!
all the power of my healing arts to accomplish it.
Shouldn't have messed with me! Eat this!
Vacuum Blade!
Resurrection!
Demon Fang! Crescent
Mega
Flash!
Ray! Gemini
Dance on the
Aqua!
wing!
Annihilation! Art
Demon
Field!
Fang!
By the power of flame!
Crescent Flash!
Finish with this!
Here I come!
Swallow this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Watch this!
Finish it! Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Dance on the wind!
Cyan instant!
You!
Sword Rain out! Burn in hell!
Rounded gold! My art can
Crescent Flash!
rise and shine!
Dance on the wind!
Do it!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed ball.
Now I'm in Can't get out of this!
Didn't even break a sweat.
normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Swallow dance! Shattering the
Where are you going?
I can carve through armor! Dance on the wind! Crush! Burn! Crescent flash! Super swallow dance!
By the power of water!
What's this? Can't get out of this!
By the
Mega
power
dance
of
on the wind! Talon hurricane! Crescent flash! Inferno! Demon fang! Engulf you! First strike!
I'm going to
Finish
use
it!
all the power of my healing.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Ignite! Rising Light! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! That training's paying off! Do it! Shattering the pieces! Dance on the wind! Eat this! Luna, finish it! Hey! Blow them away!
I'm impressed you managed to keep up.
Don't patronize me.
No choice!
Never ever been so popular.
First strike! Double demon fang! I can carve through armor! That buff is driving me mad!
Finish without a trash.
Can't get out of
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours
You
truly.
picked the wrong fight! Dance on the wind! Rising Wyvern! Luna Rondo! Selling Spear! Outfit! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Dance on the wind!
Prepare to be seized.
We've got the advantage.
Just have to make sure we can.
Let's rock and roll.
Talon Hurricane!
Freeze Lancer!
Dance on the wind! The Tempest engulfs you!
Someone was sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Dance on the wind!
Do it!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I'll smash you!
Downfall!
Strike! Not today!
Dance on the Careful! It has some kind of camouflage.
Let's tear
Don't
him up!
mind if I do.
Now I'm in the groove!
Sonic Struck! Inferno! Rising Wyvern! Tear!
Dance on the wind!
Let the marksman handle it.
Enter Storm!
Freeze Lancer!
Demon Fang! The Tempest engulfs you! The flame inside is yours to be let free!
Shouldn't have messed with
I'll
me!
stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Enter Storm!
Bring you down.
Dragon Shell! Double Demon! This one's mine!
Here goes!
Burn!
Graviton!
Now I'm in the groove! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Serpent Knuckle!
Crescent flash!
Dance on the wind!
Healing circle!
I really owe you one. I'm sorry to be bothered. We've all got enough. Yes,
That's my
ma'am.
cue.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think... We're about to be real lucky!
I'll do my best!
The Tempest engulfs you!
Falling
Raging
Samurai!
Luna Sword!
What's this? Far enough! Take
The spot of
eagle
feet
fly!
touching anyone?
Into the challenge storm! Conjugate! Tiger blade! Hurricane
I'll smash you!
Let's tear him up!
Engulfs you!
Strike! By the
Watch
power of
this!
wind! Finish without a trace!
The Tempest engulfs you!
It's time. Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And no further!
Hurricane strike!
Death on the wind!
Strike! Talon storm!
The flame inside is sure to be left free! Big blast!
Hurricane strike! Burning strike! Blizzard
I'll
blow!
face you!
Lightning meteor! Talon hurricane! I never miss! Hurricane strike!
Eagle dive! Crescent Talon storm!
All things
Death on the wind! It's time!
Watch him!
In a bind?
Ready
I'll smash you!
Reload!
Do it! Tempest engulfs you! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
This looks nice and tough.
I won't forgive you!
Super Swallow Day! Tempest engulfs you!
Rise and shine! Flaming
Bestow thy
meteor!
mystic mercy!
Kill! You're off!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Lion Howl!
Fairy Circle!
He who prepares is free from regret.
Explosion!
Crescent Flash!
On guard! Burning strike!
Dance on the wind!
Crescent moon! Strike!
Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Piercing roar! Eagle assault!
Crescent Flash!
Talon storm! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare to Malika! Look sharp!
Dance on the wind!
Maximum burn! Lunar Blizzard Knuckle! Crescent
Tempest
Alpha!
engulfs you!
Dance on the wind!
Now we're not...
Burning
I think I'm coming down with something grave.
A chronic inability to read the room?
A malady your art cannot fix.
I don't have much left!
Engulfs you!
Sorry to trouble you.
No further! Oh! Now I'm real mad!
This one's mine! Hurricane strike!
Dance on the wind!
Lightning strike!
Engulfs you!
Hurricane strike!
Crescent Flash!
Crumble!
I really owe you one.
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Engulfs you!
Hurricane!
All dedication! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Crumble!
Hurricane strike! Do it! Beast assault!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact claw!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
What's with that shining foe over there?
This one will be difficult to predict.
How about this? Super hurricane!
We require a help.
Smash you! In a bind?
Talon storm!
Crescent Flash! Blow
Deny!
away!
Searing flame!
This one's mine!
Jasmine spin! Not in your dreams! Outstanding form! Tiger blade!
What's this?
Hurricane flood! Lightning strike! Burning strike!
Come and get it!
Like
Lunar
a
hit you! I'm on it! Dance on the wind!
Will this help? Switch to offense!
Crescent Flash! It's on!
Hurricane Strike!
Watch this!
Lightning Storm!
There you go!
Lunar Force!
No further!
Without a trace!
I'll take you! Take this!
Dazzling
The
Spin!
tempest
Lunar Blast!
engulfs you! I can
stop
carve
that.
through armor! Crescent Flash! Walk like boat! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Piercing
Not today!
Here I go! Go!
Right
I
in the
do!
groove!
None shall escape my
Much
judgment!
obliged. Speaking
Shouldn't
of,
have messed with
You
me!
know Renans and Dans.
How about this? Surfing
tell me about
knuckles!
it.
You require a head.
Flaming meteor! Here I go!
Dance on the wind!
Far enough!
Tempest engulfs you!
Lightning!
Run well! Demons descend! Flashing bang!
I've been doing really great lately.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret flame inside me, sure, to be let free. Soaring blast!
Get behind me! Come through! Freeze Lancer!
Take this! Armor won't save you!
Blizzard
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still? Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Piercing power! Can you take the ultimate dream?
Here! Here's me a gift card!
Raging Lunar Storm! Shouldn't have messed with me!
Rise and shine!
You can't get out of this! The tempest engulfs you! There you are!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it! Nothing gets my dreams! Flaming meteor! Let's keep up the pressure!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dark wind!
Make it rain!
Crescent
Ridwell!
strike!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Searing flame! Reload! Hurricane
Tempest engulfs you!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack!
Indeed, but remain ever vigilant.
Red!
Off with the flame inside me! Yours to be let free! I'll end you! Blow away!
Searing flame! Reload! Do it!
Tempest Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky! Looks like some solid equipment.
Out of our way!
Coming through!
Crescent flash!
Radiant! Back here!
Dance on the wind! Dragon shout! Snake of the abyssal deep! Clear for a hop! Smash you!
Reload!
Piercing rock! Serpent! Denied! Death from the wind!
This one's mine!
I'm on Lion power! Flash! Piercing roar! Snake of the abyssal deep!
Another incantation ruined.
Tiger blade! Lion power! Pierce evil!
Inferno
Blazer!
Hold the line!
Mega
So you
weapon
clamor
strike!
for my true power?
All good things come to an end. Luna! I'll run you through!
Lion
Crescent
power!
flash!
Time to die!
Death on the wind!
Pull myself together.
And just like that, I'm back in.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than...
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Death on the wind!
Not by a lot.
In a bind?
Their arcs were interrupted.
Death on the wind!
Don't mind if I do.
Crescent flash!
Eat this!
To the shadows!
Mega red!
Inferno flash! Now you see what I can do!
All that running around is catching up with me.
No,
I'm just getting
I don't think that's
Death
it.
on the wind!
Round and pound!
Swallow dare!
Igneous! Inferno!
Just do it!
Ridwell!
Frozen.
Hammer! My fists are crushing it out there!